But sir, it was working perfectly fine on my machine. If you ever said this or heard your teammates say this, there is a permanent fix for it and it's called Docker. In today's video, we are going to learn Docker from absolute zero, images, container, Dockerfile all the way to Docker Compose in a completely practical, hands-on way, and towards the end, we are actually running a real Node.js application inside Docker. So make sure you watch this till the end. Hey everyone, welcome back to Simple Coder and I am Ramanpreet, and on this channel we will talk about Flutter, Node.js, DevOps and real world development skills. Always in a practical way. If you are serious about leveling up your development and the deployment skill, and hit that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on the bell icon. Let's first understand what Docker actually is, why we even need it. When we build an application, it needs a specific set of softwares, libraries, and version to run properly. The problems start when we move our code to a different machine or a server, and suddenly our environment does not match. Maybe the Node.js version is different or the dependency is missing altogether. Docker solves exactly this problem. Docker packages your application along with its entire environment, the code, the libraries, the dependencies, the configuration, everything into a single unit, call it container. And this container will run exactly the same way on any machine, whether it's your laptop or a cloud server. Think of it like a shipping container. You pack your goods into it, and it does not matter whether it goes on a ship, a truck or a train. What inside stays safe and unchanged. Docker does exactly the same thing but for the software. To really understand Docker, there are two terms you need to be clear about: image and container. An image is like a blueprint or a template. It's define your application code, dependencies and configuration, but it's not actually running yet. A container is a running instance of that image. Think of it like a recipe versus the actual dish. The image is the recipe and the container is the dish you cook from that recipe. From a single recipe, you can prepare multiple plates. Similarly, from a single image, you can run multiple containers. Let's move further and install the Docker. You can download Docker Desktop from docker.com. It's available for both Windows and Mac, and Linux user can follow the official Docker documentation to install it via terminal. Once it's installed, open your terminal and type docker --version. If you see a version number show up, that means the installation was successful. Now let's go through the most important Docker commands you will be using regularly. First, to download an existing image, we will use docker pull and our image name. For example, we will put docker pull node and it will download the official node.js image. To run a container from that image, we will use docker run that image name. If you want the container to run in the background, add the -d flag. To see all your currently running container, you can use docker ps. And if you want to see containers that have stop as well, you can use docker ps then -a. To stop a running container, you can use docker stop then our container ID, and to permanently remove it, you can use docker rm and then our container ID. And to view all the images you have downloaded on your system, you can use docker images, and to delete any image, you can use docker rmi then our image name. So far we have used ready-made images, but in real project we usually need to build our own image. For that, we are creating something called a Dockerfile, and the Dockerfile is a simple text file that contains a step-by-step instruction on how the image should be built. First, we will choose a base image from Node, our version number. This means we are using a Node.js version 18 as our base. Next, we will set working directory /app, and then we will copy our project file into that container, and we will put here copy .. After that, we will install our dependency. We will put here the command run npm install, and we expose the container port, and we will put here expose space 3000, and finally we will define what command should run when the container start, and we will put cmd. In the brackets we will put node and the index.js file. To build an image from this Dockerfile, we will run this command docker space build -t, then our app name space dot. Here's something important to understand. When a container gets deleted, whatever the data was inside it gets deleted too. To solve this, Docker gives us volumes. A volume is a type of storage that lives outside the container on the host machine and stays safe even if the container is deleted. The command looks like this: docker space run space -v, then our volume name /app/data, then our image name. The second important concept is networking. If you have a multiple containers, say one for your app and one for your database, and they need to talk to each other, that's where Docker networking come in. Docker automatically creates a default image, but you can also create your own custom network. And the command for that is docker space network space create, then our network name. Real-world applications often need multiple containers running together, say a Node.js app, a MongoDB database, and a Redis cache. Starting each of these manually with docker space run gets tedious pretty quickly. That's where Docker Compose come in. Compose uses a YML file, that is docker-compose.yml, where we define all our container in one place. Here a simple example: we define our services, then our app service, which get built from the current folder, and a Mongo service which uses the official MongoDB image. We also map our port, and we use depend_on to make sure the app only starts once the Mongo is ready. To start this entire setup with a single command, we will run docker-compose then space up, and to shut everything down, we will use docker-compose then space down. This is actually the exact setup I use for the couple of my own self-hosted tool running on my own home NAS. One command and the entire multi-container stack come up together. So today we covered Docker basic all the way from images and the container to Dockerfile, volumes, networking, and the Docker Compose. You should now be confident enough to containerize your own project and deploy them anywhere. If you found this video helpful, do hit the like button, and if you like more practical tutorial on Flutter, Node.js, DevOps, subscribe to Snippet Coder and let me know in the comment box what you like next, Kubernetes or the CI/CD. See you in the next video. Until then, happy coding.